welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a creepy Freddy Krueger look for you guys. This was highly requested to do this look, so I totally thought I should do it. I also did it with my wig and without my wig. I actually ended up taking my wig off and liking it as well, so that's why there's two different recordings there, because I like both of them. But to get started, I went ahead and blocked my brows already. I just put glue on them and then put some powder on top. And now I'm just priming my eyelids for some eyeshadow. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. And I'm taking the red ochre and the Venetian red together, and I am using that as my transition color today. We're gonna get way more intense with this eye look anyways, so honestly, don't worry about it being too dramatic. We want it to be very dramatic today. And I'm blending that all the way up to my brows, and the glue does not take shadow the same way, so make sure you pack it onto the glue and don't swipe it onto the glue area. Then I'm just taking the brown color in that palette, and I'm putting that into my crease. Then I'm just taking the same red ochre color and packing that onto my lid. We are preparing the lids for some red glitter. Now I'm taking the NYX Cosmetics Face and Body Glitter in red and the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Glitter Glue. And I'm putting the glitter glue down where I want the glitter to be at, which is just on my lid. And then I'm just packing the glitter on the top of that. And then I'm taking some black shadow and I'm just going around that to make it stand out a little bit more and to make some contrast. I always like to add black shadow into the crease of all my looks, even if it's just a little bit. Just helps make it stand out some more and make it more dramatic. Now I'm just taking liquid latex and I'm placing it all over my face. Now there's a couple of ways that you can do this. You can do liquid latex and build up cotton where you want his holes to be. You can just do this look with eyeshadow. Made You Look by Lex has a good one with just shadows. Or you can do what I'm doing, which I'm just placing liquid latex literally all over my face, and I am building it up. I am doing about 3 layers of liquid latex. And then for my brows, I went ahead and put liquid latex down, and I'm putting cotton there for some like furrowed, angry brows. And then I'm just putting latex back on top of that cotton. I'm just building the shape of the type of brow that I want, and since we already laid our eyebrows down and blocked them with glue and powder, they are safe and protected from the latex. This was the first time I ever did this, and I was a little skeptical, but when I peeled off the latex, none of my hairs went with it, so don't worry. And just keep building that brow how you want it to. You can use your finger to blend out liquid latex, at least like the cotton part. After you put the latex on top of the cotton, you can just use your finger to kind of rub it out and make it look like it's, you know, more natural. Now I am outlining or sketching out the shirt that I'm wearing. I wanted some holes and rips in it. I did a part where there's like 3 scratches there on my chest too. And for the colors today, I'm using the Mehron Paradise paints. I'm using this dark green color and this red color. I'm just going to paint on the stripes. Make sure you go around all the holes and rips that you created in the shirt. And if you have to, you can do a couple of layers of the paint. And at that point, I decided the latex was dry enough and I'm going to start poking holes into it. So this is how you do this method. You just poke a hole into the latex and you make it as big as you want to. Just pull it back. It does hurt a little bit. I was just putting foundation on before you put all the latex on all over the place. But then the foundation might make it peel off a little bit easier and it might come off faster throughout the night. So just be aware of these things. With latex, I personally take a shower and like let the steam from the shower kind of get the latex off, and all throughout the night when you're talking and doing stuff, like it will start peeling off a little bit or coming off of your skin a bit easier. So once you get into the shower, and the steam will start lifting it a bit, and it's going to be much easier to take off. And you can just rub it off, or you can use makeup removing wipes, and that will take off liquid latex as well. But yeah, I'm just creating holes all over my face where I want them. You can do as many or as little as you want. I kind of look at a reference picture of Freddy. We are doing Mrs. Krueger though, so it doesn't have to be identical to his. Then resume your painting. There are some pictures I've seen when I was like researching them yesterday. I haven't watched Nightmare on Elm Street in such a long time, but there was a few pictures I saw with him with a black and red sweater, and then there was lots of stuff I saw with green and red. I've always remembered him having green and red, so that's what I went for, was a green and red sweater. Now to make the sweater come alive, I'm using the Morphe 35C palette, and there's a dark green and a very dark berry red in this. So I'm using the dark berry red, and I ended up mixing it with black because it just wasn't shading as dark as I wanted it to. So I'm just shading around the perimeter of the sweater where the tears are at, and I mixed the dark red and the black together, and I'm just really pulling that out to the centers of the sweater and around my shoulders especially. If some areas just seem kind of blotchy or anything like that, you can put the shadow on top of there as well. And I did the same for the dark green. And now I'm just outlining the whole sweater and all the holes and everything in black paint. Now it's time to shade the sweater. I'm using a cool brown color first. And then I end up taking black really close to the black line that we painted, and I shade it even more. And then I end up taking a big fluffy brush as well and really blending that out into my skin. I used too small of a brush. You should definitely use a little bit of a bigger brush. Just didn't look too blended after I applied the black, but I got it off camera afterwards. Right there you can see the blotchiness. I fixed it though, don't worry. Now I'm putting some orange concealer on the tails of my brows to conceal them and hide them. And I'm taking that same orange concealer and putting this all over the latex. The latex is a really yellow color, especially the type that you get from the Halloween store. So putting this orange on top of all of it will really help conceal it, because we'll be putting our normal color foundation or concealer on top of all of this as well. So the darkness will hide the yellow color. Then put your foundation on. I don't put it directly onto the latex. I'm going to be taking a smaller, like a Q-tip or a smaller brush, and putting that on the latex. The brush will really disrupt all the latex that we put down. Now I'm putting my regular concealer on top of that orange concealer on the tails of my brows. That way we can't see them. Freddy does not have brows. And then conceal your under eyes just a little bit. I didn't go too crazy with the concealer. Blend it out with your damp beauty blender. Then powder it. And now I'm taking some red paint, the same paint we used for the sweater, and I'm just filling in all the holes that we created. And you can even extend them down a little bit if they aren't like quite the shape that you want. You can totally take it past the latex and kind of like smear it down somewhat. Here is where I decided I wanted to add more to my neck. So I'm just doing a couple of layers of latex on my neck to make it all cohesive. I didn't want to do my whole body, but if you just drag it down your neck a little bit. You should also go check out Jordan Hahn's, her video for Freddy Krueger. It's really cool. Next, I'm taking the Makeup Forever 12 color flash case. We're going to be using these reds and these kind of pink colors. I'm taking this pink color, and I'm just putting it all around the burn marks or the pieces of missing flesh. And I'm just kind of blending that in a little bit. We just want the skin to look a little bit irritated. Like I said, I was looking at a reference picture, but then I did my liner and my falsies on top. And I did one eye, how dramatic I want it to be for the shadow. And now I'm just putting black liner in my waterline, and we're going to be putting some red shadow underneath of that and blending it out. Then I'm just taking my black shadow and I am smudging it out a little bit. Now I'm taking some red shadow and I'm just kind of adding some more pieces of burned flesh where I felt like it might have been missing or I didn't really get any latex in that area. So you can totally use a few different effects or a few different ways to do these. Add your bottom false lashes if you want to. I totally wanted to. Now here's where I'm making the eyeshadow quite more dramatic, and it's really hard. Like I said, the glue takes the shadow way differently. So I'm putting red up to the brow that we created, or the brow bone that we created. And then I'm taking some colors from the 12 color flash palette, and I'm using that Q-tip. If you see me use the Q-tip, I'm just taking the colors and like blending them out, because cream is going to work so much better on the glue than shadows will work. So this is where I'm taking some dark purple cream and I'm just kind of blending it out so it's not a straight line. And then I put black shadow back on top of it. And that really helped blend it out and make it look a little bit better than just putting shadow on top of the glue. It just doesn't stick for some reason. Now I'm taking this pale color in the flash palette and I'm mixing it with my foundation, and then I'm just putting it all over the latex so it blends in with my skin a little bit better. And I am adding some dark colors and shading to all the red spots. I'm using that dark red color we use for the sweater, and I'm just putting it at the tops of the flesh marks, because the shadows would be casting it down, so it would be more dark towards the top of them. And then I'm taking that same foundation mixture that I did, and I'm just blending it into my neck as well. We want it all to be cohesive and all to match and all to blend. Now I'm adding the red from the flash color case. These flash colors are just like grease paints. So if you go to the Halloween store and you just want to buy some grease paints, those are totally the same things. I'm just using a dark red here and just kind of adding some color and definition to these marks. And then I'm taking that same pink color that we used before and I'm putting it all over the skin. This latex, the way that I did the latex creates like wrinkles and kind of lines in the skin, which is perfect. So just there was a fly. So just place the colors all over into the wrinkles, and it's going to make the skin look more irritated. Do it all over your neck as well. Well, just the area where you have the marks at. I'm taking some black shadow now, and I'm really deepening up those parts. Honestly, it doesn't matter, like the definition doesn't need to be too crazy in these, because we're going to be putting blood on top of them, and the blood will hide most of it, but I wanted it to still look I wanted it to have a lot of depth underneath of that blood. Taking Kat Von D's Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in Outlaw, I'm placing it all over my lips. You can use any color of lipstick you want to. Honestly, I think black would look cool as well, or like a really, really dark, dark red. I just went for a bright red to match the sweater. Now I'm contouring a bit. We are Mrs. Freddy Krueger. She's still got to be rocking that contour. Now I'm just adding some red paint to these scratch areas that I created. We're going to be putting blood on top of this as well. So it doesn't need to be perfect. They are scratches. And taking some Scab blood, this is the best part. I'm just going to be putting it into all of these holes, burn marks, flesh marks, whatever. I'm really concentrating the gumpier parts towards the top of the marks. And now I'm just taking a big brush with some paint and water on it, and I am splattering blood all over the side of my face. He is a slasher. He's got to have some blood. But yeah, guys, that's it. Like I said, this was a very requested makeup look. I have done Freddy in the past, but it was just with eyeshadows, and there was no tutorial for it, so I thought I'd go ahead and make one. I hope this was... I hope you guys liked this tutorial. This is a really easy way to do it for Halloween night. And thank you guys for watching as always. Happy Halloween!